Flow Wisdom presents The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Book summary.
Meaning of effectiveness. True effectiveness is a function of two things: what is produced, the golden eggs, and the producing asset or capacity to produce, the goose. Here's the fable with the goose that lays golden eggs. A poor farmer one day finds that his goose laid a golden egg. He's super happy. The next day, the goose laid another golden egg. And the next day again. The farmer can't believe his good fortune. Every morning, he rushes to see whether there's another golden egg. He's never disappointed. So he becomes fabulously wealthy. With increasing wealth comes greed and impatience. The farmer can't wait day after day for the golden eggs, so he decides to kill the goose to get all the golden eggs at once. Yet there are no golden eggs inside the goose, so he ends up with a dead goose and no golden eggs. The farmer killed the goose that produced them. Effectiveness lies in the balance, what I call the P/PC balance. P stands for production of desired results, the golden eggs. PC stands for production capability, the ability or asset that produces the golden eggs. So, effectiveness lies in the balance. The balance between what you actually produce and what you are capable to produce. Covey states that in modern life, many people fail at finding that balance. They work a lot and achieve a high degree of outward success, but they struggle in private life. They struggle with relationships, health, and deep and lasting happiness. These people lay many golden eggs, but slowly kill the goose as they're not looking after it. They may not realize that they're the goose themselves. The quintessence is that in order to be highly effective in life, we must find the balance between work and taking care of ourselves. The 7 Habits. Covey introduces the concept of paradigm shift and helps the reader understand that different perspectives exist, that two people can see the same thing and yet differ with each other. Covey also introduces the maturity continuum. These are 3 successive stages of increasing maturity: dependence, independence, and interdependence. At birth, everybody is dependent, and characteristics of dependence may linger. This is the first and lowest stage of maturity. Dependence means you need others to get what you need. All of us began life as an infant, depending on others for nurturing and sustenance. I may be intellectually dependent on other people's thinking. I may be emotionally dependent on other people's affirmation and validation of me. Dependence is the attitude of you take care of me, or you don't come through and I blame you for the result. Independence means you are pretty much free from the external influence and support of others. Independence is the attitude of I. It is the avowed goal of many individuals, and also many social movements, to enthrone independence as the highest level of achievement, but it is not the ultimate goal in effective living. There is a far more mature and more advanced level. The third and highest level in the maturity continuum is interdependence. We live in an interdependent reality. Interdependence is essential for good leaders, good team players, a successful marriage or family life, in organizations. Interdependence is the attitude of we. We can cooperate. We can be a team. We can combine our talents. Each of the first 3 habits is intended to help achieve independence. The next 3 habits are intended to help achieve interdependence. The final, 7th habit is intended to help maintain these achievements. Be proactive. Habit 1. Take responsibility for your reaction to your experiences. Take the initiative to respond positively and improve the situation. Recognize your circle of influence and circle of concern. Focus your responses and initiates on the center of your influence and constantly work to expand it. Don't sit and wait in a reactive mode, waiting for problems to happen. Circle of concern before taking action. Begin with the end in mind. Habit 2. Envision what you want in the future so you can work and plan towards it. Understand how people make decisions in their life. To be effective, you need to act based on principles and constantly review your mission statements. Are you, right now, who you want to be? What do I have to say about myself? How do you want to be remembered? If habit 1 advises changing your life to act and be proactive, habit 2 advises that you are the programmer. Grow and stay humble. All things are created twice. Before we act, we should act in our minds first. Before we create something, we measure twice. This is what the principle is about. Do not just act, think first. Is this how I want it to go, and are these the correct consequences? First things first. Habit 3 talks about what is important and what is urgent. Priority should be given in the following order. In brackets are the corresponding actions from the Eisenhower matrix. Quadrant I. Urgent and important, do. Important deadlines and crisis. Quadrant B. Not urgent but important, plan, long-term development. Quadrant II. Urgent but not important, delegate, distractions with deadlines. Quadrant IV. Not urgent and not important, eliminate, frivolous distractions. The order is important. After completing items in Quadrant I, we should spend the majority of our time on II, but many people spend too much time in II and IV. The calls to delegate and eliminate are effective reminders of their relative priority. If Habit 2 advises that you are the programmer, Habit 3 advises, write the program, become a leader. Keep personal integrity. What you say is what you do. Think win-win. Habit 4. Genuine feelings for mutually beneficial solutions or agreements in your relationships. Value and respect people by understanding a win for all is ultimately a better long-term resolution than if only one person in the situation had gotten their way. Think win-win isn't about being nice, nor is it a quick fix technique. It is a character-based code for human interaction and collaboration. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Habit 5. Use empathetic listening to genuinely understand a person, which compels them to reciprocate the listening and take an open mind to be influenced by you. This creates an atmosphere of caring and positive problem solving. Habit 5 is greatly embraced in the Greek philosophy represented by 3 words. 1. Ethos. Your personal credibility. It's the trust that you inspire, your emotional bank account. 2. Pathos is the empathetic side. It's the alignment with the emotional trust of another person's communication. 3. Logos is the logic, the reasoning part of the presentation. The order is important. Ethos, pathos, logos, your character, and your relationships, and then the logic of your presentation. Synergize. Habit 6. The word synergy comes from the Greek word for working together, and it's based on Aristotle's theory that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Combine the strengths of people through positive teamwork so as to achieve goals that no one could have done alone. Synergy is everywhere in nature. If you put 2 pieces of wood together, they will hold much more than the total of the weight held by each separately. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. 1 + 1 = 3 or more. The challenge is to apply the principles of creative cooperation, which we learn from nature, in our social interactions. Sharpen the sword. Growth. Habit 7. Balance and renew your resources, energy, and health to create a sustainable, long-term, effective lifestyle. It primarily emphasizes exercise for physical renewal, good prayer, meditation, yoga, etc., and good reading for mental renewal. It also mentions service to society for spiritual renewal. Covey explains the upward spiral model in the Sharpening the Saw section. Through our conscience, along with meaningful and consistent progress, the spiral will result in growth, change, and constant improvement. In essence, one is always attempting to integrate and master the principles outlined in the 7 habits at progressively higher levels at each iteration. Subsequent development on any habit will render a different experience, and you will learn the principles with a deeper understanding. The upward spiral model consists of 3 parts: learn, commit, do. According to Covey, One must be increasingly educating the conscience in order to grow and develop on the upward spiral. The idea of renewal by education will propel one along the path of personal freedom, security, wisdom, and power.
This was released from For the Sake of Education by Flow Wisdom. If the content was helpful, make sure to subscribe.